So hi friends, good afternoon. Respected teacher friends, dignified participants, all Revhard educational officers, dear students, respected all my well-wishers, my technical support hand, I express my sense of gratitude to you all. At the same time to all the authors and authorities of Google, at the same time all the important research articles and all the important books which I have consulted at the time of writing my own TED book. So friends, let us start the class. The main concept of this class is also a little bit general class, and this class has special importance for the teacher trainees of B.Ed. At the same time, this class has special importance for all the education major students. This class has special importance for all the teachers who are working in different levels, because how to teach in the class, if you are to know this, then this class will help you to get so many information. Friends, this class has special importance not only for the students of education, at the same time this class will help to those who are expecting to face TET examination to enter into the sector of education as teacher, or who are to appear different competitive examinations. For them too this class is special importance. Well, let us start this class. This is 54th number YouTube class, and the main heading is concept of pedagogy. We are to understand. Then the unit is teaching learning process and pedagogy. We discuss up to whole two parts principle, and in the last class we discussed about 6 number principle practical to general. Then we are to finish it, and then sport we are to start discussing the next principle, that is 7th number indefinite to definite, and partially we are to discuss it. I will not be able to complete the 7th principle today, and in the next class I will do it. Let us go back to the next slide. Friends, particular to general, once we are to discuss it, we are to know the concept, then we are to know the term particular and its origin. And once we see the origin, we see that this term is a Latin term, means it has been originated from the Latin term particularis. Particularis, and that's a particular very simply means, it's a simple meaning relating to an individual member of a group or class. In other sense, it means a detail. On the other hand, the term general has also been originated from a Latin term, that is generalis. So friends, general very simply means involving only the main features of elements, not detailed. So friends, we have understood what is meant by particular and what is the meaning of general, and how this principle is to be applied in the classroom situation. Let us see. Thus the term particular to general from the teaching point of view mean from a bunch of subject contents to the main features of the subject contents. Particular to general is an important principle of teaching. In formal classroom situations, this principle has applicability in teaching both science and art subjects. In both science and arts, this subject can be applied. All subjects concerning to social sciences and physical sciences can be taught with the help of the application of the principle of particular to general. In applying this principle, in the beginning, specific examples are given to motivate the students towards the contents of teaching first. Means in a sense, this one is a Baconian concept of doing research. Thenceforth, the laws, it should be the laws, two words serving, yes, the laws or the principles of the teaching situation are derived in a very systematic manner. Particular relevant examples are forwarded keeping proper relation with the teaching contents to make the teaching situation very lively and contents very interesting and vivid. Friends, teaching is a systematic process. It's a science, at the same time it is an art. As in science, teaching demands the application of procedures. At the same time, as an art, it demands the application, means it demands the involvement of human emotion in the process of teaching. And particular to general is a specific principle of teaching which has close linkage with the Baconian concept of doing research. Let us see how we can apply this. You see, yes, it is specially kept in mind at the mental perspective of the students and their level of understanding, and then gradually, step by step, general laws or the principles are found out. We are to start at the particular point and we are to go to the general parameter. The particular examples that are given are thoroughly analyzed and evaluated to help the learners understand the fact. Thenceforth, the general laws or principles are drawn out in a very systematic manner from the examples. An example may be given to make the idea of applying the principle in the practical situation very clear, may be given to you. Suppose a teacher is going to teach English grammar in class 6 and he has planned to teach the topic parts of speech, especially noun or adjective. Suppose you are going to deal your English grammar subject and you are going to teach in class 6 and you are to deal with parts of speech, and what you are to do means particularly specifically noun or adjective you are to discuss, or you are to help students understand in proper manner. Then what you are to do or how you can start your class, let us see. To make his means your hard teaching very systematic, the teacher may put forward some examples like, let us start particular. Ram is eating rice. Abraham is eating rice. Emmanuel is eating rice. Nasiruddin is eating rice. Ram is eating good rice. Now good has come. So the quality of rice is being specified by the term good. You can start. Ram is eating rice. Now noun is there. What Ram is eating? You can ask your students. He is eating rice. What kind of rice he is eating? Part of speech. The speech of a person is Ram is eating rice. This is the total speech. And the parts are Ram is eating rice. These are the parts of the speech of a particular person. And what kind of rice Ram is eating? Ram is eating good rice. So, the term good, let us come back. It has specified the quality of rice. Here in this first sentence, Ram is the name of a person. You can help your students understand. And rice is the name of a thing which he is eating, means the particular body is eating. Likewise, in the second sentence, good is the term which qualifies or adds special quality with the term rice. Let us go back to the next slide. Thus, we may define that a noun names a name or a thing. Now, definition we have come. We have given the example first. Second time we have given the definition. Friends, in the classroom situation, what we do? We follow the Aristotelian approach. Means first of all, we give the definition. Then sport we come back to the specific examples. But this is not the absolute or scientific process of dealing with different contents in the classroom situation, because the modern concept means the Baconian idea of teaching and doing research is we are to start at the particular point and we are to go to the general. And that's why again an adjective qualifies a noun or adds some special quality to a noun. In such situation, the students will very easily understand the teaching sequence and they will find relaxed situations to grasp the idea of the contents they are taught. Thus, this principle, that is the principle of particular to general, may very easily be applied in any situation most psychologically and successfully. In teaching subjects like grammar, science, mathematics, etc., this principle can be applied for definite results. We can give so many examples, but it is not so much better because you have understood so much well. You are quite matured. But what you are to do, certainly you have come to know. Once you start your class this way, then students will be totally interested and your teaching will be totally joyful for the students. Means they will learn joyfully. They will not feel so much frustrated at the time of learning your teaching contents. Let us go back to the next one. What are the characteristics of this principle? Let us see. The principle of particular to general is very easy to apply in different formal situations of teaching. Teachers can apply this principle without any trouble if he is well acquainted with the knowledge of educational psychology and technology as well. This principle can be applied in any situation without spending more money and time. This means without the help of any sophisticated teaching learning materials and without the use of more time, the principle of general to particular can be applied in the classroom situations. For successful application of this principle for better result, simply the intellectual exercise and experience of the teacher have special necessity. Means your willingness, your inquisitiveness, as well as your intellectual maturity, these are very much important in the classroom situation. And that's why, friends, teaching is, though the general people of the society says that it's a very simple job or exercise, it's not like so. Because if you do not understand this psychology of the students, means without understanding the psychology of the learners, no teacher can make his or her teaching quite enjoyable, quite joyful. So friends, you want to understand the inner psyche of the learners first, and then sport you have to understand yourself, what you are doing or what you are going to do, how much sincere you are at the time of dealing with your own students, dealing with your students and as well as your subject contents. Let us go back to the next slide. The principle drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? Let us see, friends. The principle of particular to general is one of the simplest principles of teaching. However, the successful applicability of this principle relies on the skill of the teacher. And friends, skill is not a ready-made concept. Skill means the application of the knowledge, the expertise, the intelligent application of human knowledge. Means the intelligent application of your experience is nothing but skill. And it depends on your intellectual maturity. So, with ready-made skill, you never can go to your class. It is the classroom situation which helps you develop some new skills and apply in the classroom situation and make the part of your own creation, own psychic order, own intellectual order, friends. If the teacher does not have experience and skill of teaching, he never can apply the principle in result-oriented manner. Success of teaching depends on the skill, experience, knowledge, etc. of the teacher regarding resource mobilization, resource utilization, children understanding children behavior, social situation, etc. But what we say, we basically point out, try to always we become mindful towards pointing out all the negatives. There is no blackboard, there is no, you see, classroom situation is not up to the mark, there is no such facilities, no such, you see, things are there in the classroom. How I can teach the students? Friends, you need not to take anything else. Go back to the ancient, you see, go back to the past history, how schools, concept of school, how the concept of school began in ancient Greek society. You think about Aristotle, you think about the sophists, what they did, the mobile teachers of ancient Greece, you think about them and compare your position with them, and thenceforth whatever facilities are there in the classroom, you utilize to the utmost level, and it is your duty to do so. And for doing so, you need skill, and your skill basically has linkage with your knowledge, and your knowledge, and you say knowledge has, means your skill has close linkage with your experience as well as knowledge, and intellectual maturity and capabilities. Let us go back to the next slide. Therefore, to become expert in applying the principle in proper manner, the teacher should know educational psychology, child psychology, pedagogy means the science of teaching, educational technology means and environmental science in more detailed manner. You are to understand all these things because these subjects do have importance. Once you are to become successful as a teacher, you are to study all these subjects in extensive manner and you are to develop your knowledge, and once your knowledge develops, automatically your skill will be so much stronger in the classroom situation. Now let us discuss or start discussing today simply one part, definite to indefinite. Let us see the concept first. Let us go back to the next slide. The term definite, let us see the meaning, means not clearly expressed or defined. The term indefinite to definite means, we have to begin indefinite to definite. So indefinite means not clear or clearly expressed or defined. In other sense, it means vague. On the other hand, the term definite means clearly stated or decided. Thus, the terms indefinite to definite means from a situation which is not clearly expressed or defined to a situation which is clearly stated or decided. Indefinite to definite is one of the most important principles of teaching. This principle is applicable in the basic stage of learning. So friends, indefinite to definite, we are to discuss this one, and this is also one of the important principles. And what we are to do, let us see the next slide. Basic stage of learning very simply means the stage of beginning of learning life of the learners. Human life is categorized in different stages. Among all the stages, infancy stage is the foundation stage of economic life of these learners. The second stage, that is the stage of childhood, has also specific specialities from the learning point of view. The first and second stages, that is the stage of infancy and childhood, may be treated very important so far the question of economic exercises is concerned. So friends, human life has been categorized by the psychologists in 4 categories, in 4 stages. First one infancy, second one you see childhood, third one adolescence, and fourth one is adulthood. Infancy means from 0 to 5-6 years, means from the moment of birth till the age of 5-6 years, it is infancy. Second, childhood means since the age group of 5-6 till 11-12 years, it is childhood. Third is adolescence, it begins at the age group of 11-12 and continues to 18-19. And fourth one is adulthood, from 18-19 till the date of an individual. These are the 4 categories, 4 stages of our life, and some subdivisions are there. And among all these 4 stages, our infancy and childhood, these 2 stages do have special importance. Rousseau said, I just am to quote and place before you that, you see, at the time of birth, mindset is, the mind of the child is just like a blank slate. Means it is just like a blank piece of paper. Nothing else, total vacuum is there. And whatever is there in your mind today, it is from the society you have learned. The ideas are being developed, concepts are being developed in your mind from the moment of just after the moment of your birth till date. You see, in the blank sheet, means in the blank cassette, all the concepts are being stored, and the process of concept formation is a very much systematic process, and that's why we are to understand in proper manner the knowing processes. Means what are the specialities of the knowing processes. Let us go back to the next slide. These 2 stages may be treated as the initial stages of learning, during which the process of acquiring knowledge or the process of development of cognitive aspects proceed from the indefinite to definite stage. Just after the birth of the child's mind is just like a blank piece of paper. It is written here. The mind of the child is just like a blank slate. As the child grows, the senses which are treated as the doors of mind and windows of soul begin to develop in a very rapid manner. Our senses are the gateways of our learning. We come into contact with various things and beings with the help of the senses and gather different types of experiences. Friends, senses are the gateways of human learning. These are the doors of our mind and these are the windows of our soul. How we can help? You have seen the book of these children. Why the letters are in big size, big fonts why big fonts are used? Why photographs are used? So that two concepts develop at the same time. The idea means an elephant, the big figure is there and the terminology or the word is also there. Why? Because so that they can develop concept, you see, with the help of their applying the capabilities or applying their senses, they will see and they will develop. And that's why it is said that the senses are the gateways of human learning. These are the doors of human mind and windows of human soul. Friends, and that's why it is said once you discuss the, theories of learning and the methods of learning, you will come to know that learning depends on the activities of the senses, and senses are totally physiological organs, and that's why in the initial stage or basic stage of human learning, everything is physical. Our knowledge is physical, not mental. We see, we hear, we get the smell, we get the taste, and we touch and get the sense. All these means with practical application of or with practical, you see, involvement of the activities of the senses, we learn, and that's why learning in the basic stage is totally physical, not mental. Mental learning is, you see, later stage learning means intuition, insight, all these higher concepts develop in later stage. But in basic stage of human learning, our senses play very much important role, and as the senses are the, you see, physical or physiological organs, our learning in the basic stages are not mental, friends. These are totally physical. Our knowledge is physical. We acquire knowledge with the help of the senses, and acquisition of knowledge in basic level is totally physical. Let us go back to the next. Experiences are scrutinized and stored in the memory levels, and the process of cognitive cognitive development begins to take definite form. Acquisition of human knowledge is a very systematic process. With the help of the process of cognition, which is very systematic development of all the psychic qualities, takes definite form, and our psychic order becomes fit to learn and relearn new events, situations and things. So friends, experiences are scrutinized and stored in the memory levels, and the process of cognitive development begins to take definite form. Let us go back to the next slide. You see, sensation, perception and conception, these are the three most important levels of the process of cognition. Sensation is the first stage, where most of the roles are played by the main five sense organs of our body: the eyes, the nose, the ears, the tongue, and the skin. All these are five senses. These are five senses which play. All these five senses play definite roles and help us to keep contact with different situations, things, beings and events of the total surrounding, that is the environment, and we become able to know everything which we assess as important for our life, and we learn this way. Let us go back to the next slide. Stimulation. Stimulus stimulates the sense organ or the stimuli stimulate our senses, and the external and internal nerves of the body carry the information to the psychic level. Whenever the psychic level is able to know the actual source of information, a simple knowledge is gained. Thus the concepts of definite objects, matters, things, experience, etc. take definite form. This is the process by which most of the concepts we do form, take definite shapes from indefinite state or levels. So friends, human neurology, human physiology has special significance in the process of learning, because stimulus sensation means stimulation in any one of the five sense organs of our body. Sensation is not knowledge. It is a stimulation, it is a jerking. And once we get the meaning of sensation, it is perception, simple knowledge. Oh, you mean suppose you have heard somebody else knock at your door at midnight, and you are frightened. You do not know where from this sound is coming, and just after opening the door you have come to, that is sensation. You have become frightened. Sensation is there, body reaction, physiological reaction is there. Once you open the door, you will come to know, oh, you are the person. Oh, yes, please come. Why you have come at this time? Why you are so much late? You will put so many questions. Means there is an idea. The concept is there, prior concept is there, and with the help of the prior concept, you have identified the person. So friends, things are so much scientific, things are so much psychological, and learning process, in the process of learning, human physiology plays most important roles, and that's why our neurology has also special importance. And without understanding all this, we never can understand the process of learning so much well, and we never can become successful in the process of classroom teaching. So friends, let us stop here for today. Means definite to indefinite to definite. This principle, 7th number principle, we have started discussing today. And in next class I will complete it. Thank you so much.